Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and for those of you curious about what's going on right now, 6 o'clock was the scheduled time for the beginning of the Coach K Classic game between the Chico Nuts and the Medford Mustangs. The preceding game, won by the Reno Knights against Grants Pass, went a little bit long, so we'll be a little bit later with the first pitch. So right now, we're going to go ahead and keep it in live mode just so you know we're here. And then we're going to continue to try to get set up, get the lineups, be all ready to go for tonight's streaming broadcast. Going to be an excellent game. Chico coming in with a record of 14-10, but I got to tell you, they look really impressive when I watched them play against the Salem Whitnell Dodgers on Thursday. Meanwhile, the Mustangs are 17-5-2. They got back on the winning track after dropping two in a row with a 15-0 victory against Salem Whitnell yesterday. So stick around. We'll have the broadcast for you coming up in just a few moments. Okay, I believe we're about ready to go here. The designated home team, the Medford Mustangs, and they're playing on their home turf here at North Medford High School, Jim Maccabee Field. Taking the hill for the Mustangs will be right-hander out of South Medford, Evan Roden. Leading off for Chico will be Kinzer Day. Day playing right field. He'll be followed in the lineup by the center fielder, Rylan Giovanni, and Zach Story, the shortstop. Oh, 2 count, pitch on the way. And Roden records the K to start things off for the Mustangs.
Number 9, Rylan Giovanni.
Rylan Giovanni, the center fielder, stands in, right-handed hitter. Chico coming in with a record of 14-10 on the season. One-0 pitch from Roden. That one gets away from the catcher. Roden comes to the plate. There's a strike as the count goes 2-1. Jim McCoy along with Johnny McCoy on the camera, bringing you the action here. It's the third day of the Coach K Classic. Ball hit in the air to center field. Running in, making the play is Tristan Wallace. Good hustle defensively, and there's 2 gone.
Center fielder, shortstop, number 24, Zach Story.
Zach Story stands in. Story playing shortstop. He'll be followed in the lineup by Malachi Boschart playing third base. We got Landon Sable at catcher. Logan Yakovachi playing second base. Jake Dahl at first base. Joe Cassetta is the designated hitter. And Isaiah Fortune will hit in the 9 spot playing left field. Roden quickly getting ahead of the hitter. Pitch low and away to even up the count at 1-1. You can probably hear it coming through my microphone. Breezy here this evening. 1-2 now the count. There's a strike. And that'll retire the side in the top of the first. No runs, no hits, no errors. And we'll be back with the home half of the first in 60 seconds. Here at Jim McAbee Field in Medford, Oregon, on the campus of North Medford High School. The Medford Mustangs lineup will go as follows. Leading off and playing shortstop will be Roundtree. Tristan Wallace will play center field and hit second. Now Rosenthal will be playing left field and hitting third. Eli Havey batting cleanup and playing catcher. Tristan Miller at first base. He'll be followed by Kellen Willer, then it'll be followed by Tristan Malari in right field. Davis Carr at second base. Caleb Long at third. The DH is Easton Curtis. They'll get ready to stand in against Austin Salado. Throw down to first. Ends up bouncing into the chest of the first baseman. And Roundtree is aboard. Infield hit for Freeman Roundtree, and he's a speedster, so he'll give Salado plenty to keep him busy, to keep him from trying to steal bases. Taking a pretty good lead there off of first. Salado quickly getting ahead of Wallace. Wallace playing this year, just coming off his freshman year at Umpqua Community College. Throw to first. Defensively for the Nuts, you've got Dahl at first base, Yakovaci at second, Story at short, and Boschard at third. The outfield from left to right, Isaiah Fortune, Rylan Giovanni, and Day in right field. Behind the plate, London Sable, and the pitcher, Austin Salado. Drive to center field falls in for Tristan Wallace. Roundtree will advance to second base, and that'll bring up Jackson Rosenthal out of Ashland High School, lefty hitter, playing left field. It seems like I recall on some of the Ashland Grizzlies baseball games that I've covered over the years that with that nice long frame and being a left-hander playing over at first. Throw over to second. That's a close one. But the man in blue says he's safe. So runners at first and second. Nobody out. Rosenthal standing in. Shows bunt. Pulls it back. And he gets ahead 1-0. As you can see, some cloud cover today, taking off the edge. I think a lot of us were probably anticipating a 90-plus degree day, and this nice shirt sleeve weather. Jackson ahead, 2-0. Salado pitching out of the stretch, comes to the plate, swing and a miss. Two and one the count. Good location on the pitch there by Salado. Got that on the low end of the strike zone and evens up the count now at 2-2. Pitch in the dirt. That'll run the count full at 3-2. Salado looks back at the runner at second. He goes, and that one's fouled off. Salado gets set. And he fakes a throw back to second. Going to try to keep Roundtree as honest as possible. Pitch fouled away. It remains 3-2. Coach K Classic, named after a long-time Medford Mustangs manager Sandy Kensinger, a fixture in the youth sports scene here in the Medford area for quite some number of years. Passed away a few years ago. And patience at the plate pays off for Rosenthal. That'll load the bases now. So Wallace will move down to second. Roundtree's at third. Ducks on the pond for Eli Havey. Nobody out here in the bottom of the first. Scoreless ball game. Roden in good form to start the game for the Mustangs. One 1-0 pitch from Salado, and he finds his target. Evens up the count at 1-1. Pitch in the dirt. Doing a good job of keeping it in front of him for Chico. Landon Sable, the receiver tonight. Two and one the count. Bases full, nobody out. Bottom of the first. Medford trying to get first blood. Havey with the good eye there. Ahead in the count, 3-1, a hitter's count. At pitch in the dirt. And that will force the runner home. Freeman Roundtree makes it a 1-0 ball game. So now it's Wallace at third, Rosenthal at second, Havey at first, Kellen Willer, first baseman out of North Medford High School. A little discussion going on after a pair of walks by Salado. Salado gets ahead here against the big right-handed hitter. On deck is the right fielder Tristan Malari. Pitch fouled off. Advantage Salado. Pitch fouled back. That'll keep Willer alive. Pitch goes back to the screen. The runner comes home, and he's safe. The wild pitch will bring Wallace home, making it a 2-0 ball game. The runners advance. So we have runners at second and third, I should say. Pitch high. Count even now at 2-2. Still nobody out in the inning. Mustangs with the early run support for Evan Roden. Willer just gets a piece of it. Had to kind of get out and under it and Wisely is able to get that fouled out of play. Willer again fouling that off, giving out some souvenirs. Count will remain at 2-2. Nobody out in the inning. Another foul ball, so Willer working a good at bat and making Salado throw pitches. Pitch off the plate as the count goes 3-2. Tomorrow morning, the Mustangs will be in action against Grants Pass. That ball hit in the air to right field. Running in on it, making the play is Day. Throw to the plate. Not in time, but Willer successful with the sacrifice fly to make it a 3-0 ball game as Rosenthal comes home. That'll bring up Tristan Malari. Lefty hitting right fielder. So that's the first out of the inning, and bouncing ball down to second. Were they able to make the play? They are not. That just deflected off the second baseman. Over at second is Yakovachi. Story made a game effort to get the throw over in time. But Malari beating the throw. So now that'll make it a 4-0 ball game. As Havey comes home. Ruling on the play, E4. So we got one gone, runner at first. North Medford product, currently at Bob Jones University in South Carolina, is Davis Carr. Carr beats that one in the dirt as Salado gets ahead. Davis, the hitter, with Caleb Long on deck. Good contact there by Carr, but it ends up fouled out of play. 1-2 to Carr. Salado comes to the plate. Ball hit just on the edge of the infield, there to make the play is Zach Story. And here's Caleb Long. bring that scoreboard up to date. Salado getting ahead, 0-1. Pitch outside. That'll roll back to the screen. Cruising on down to scoring position is Tristan Malari. Medford out of the gate strong, and that's been kind of a theme for them throughout the tournament. In spite of the fact that they fell behind early to Reno on Thursday, they quickly countered with 3 runs in the first. And then yesterday was pretty much a continual barrage of hitting for the Mustangs against Salem. So no questions about the offensive capabilities of the Mustangs. Pitch off the plate as the count goes 2-2. Two pitch on the way. That one hit in the air to center field. Running in on it and making the grab is Giovanni for the Mustangs. 4 runs on 2 hits and 1 nuts error. We'll take a 60-second timeout and be back with more here on Table Rock Sports.
Start at Pinnacle 365. Accelerate your day with morning motivation. Freshly ground, swiftly brewed from fresh bean to cup in no time at all. And now, we're here for your daily dinner adventures. Introducing Crispy Crunchy Chicken online ordering. Mouth-watering Crispy Crunchy Chicken for dinner, made deliciously easy. Just open the app or visit the website. Select a pickup time. Choose from your favorites. And your Crispy Crunchy Chicken will be prepared hot and fresh. Make dinner a breeze at Pinnacle 365.
Jim McAbee Field, 3rd day of the Coach K Classic. The Medford Mustangs, sponsored this year by Rogue Credit Union. Out in front of this game against the Chico Nuts program that has quite a history of success in Northern California. Reading on their website earlier today, about 90% of their players end up going on to play at the college level. Northern California always been a hotbed of baseball talent. And as I've told anybody who'll listen here, I think the well-kept secret is, for as sports crazy as the Rogue Valley is here in Southern Oregon, that baseball has been the sport where we've seen the most athletes come out of here and eventually end up playing at the top level. Malachi Boschart stands in. He's playing the hot corner this evening. Roden winds, fires, swing and a miss, strike 1. Seems like eons ago, but in the first inning, 2 of the 3 batters that Roden faced went down on strikes. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Roden started out his high school career at Ashland, and then last season, family moved to Medford. Now he's playing out of South Medford High School. That one fouled well out of play. Ends up in the Chico bullpen. Actually, I should say that's the Medford bullpen tonight. They've switched dugouts on me. So 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
Catcher number 3, Landon Sable.
Here's Landon Sable, number 5 hitter in the order for the Nuts. Sable, the Chico catcher, standing in against Roden. He takes on the first offering from Roden. Close stance. There's a strike. Count level now at 1-1. So a 4-0 ball game. Mustangs out in front. Earlier here at this field, Reno, a 9-7 winner against 9-6, I should say, against Grants Pass. That one gets away. Three and one. Yakovachi on deck. Ball hit in the air to right field. Shallow enough that running over and making the catch is the second baseman, Davis Carr, and there's two gone. Yakovachi playing second base. His first at-bat of the game here in the top of the second. He'll line it out to center field. Wallace comes over, makes the catch. And that will end it. After an inning and a half, it is the Mustangs 4 and the Nuts nothing. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
Day or a family get-together. Sherm's has the quality products and prices that will make you cheer. Sherm's Thunderbird Market, Medford's original discount grocery store.
You want diverse venues? We got them. Year-round sports access? You bet. Race cars, soccer, paragliding? Check, check, check. Medford has it covered as your sport ground, where the West Coast plays.
Coming up this inning for the Medford Mustangs, it'll be Easton Curtis, followed by Freeman Roundtree and Tristan Wallace. Curtis out of North Medford High School. Primarily an outfield, and in this lineup configuration for Coach John King, Curtis handling the DH spot this evening, allowing Roden just to simply focus on his pitching. Salado winds, fires, pitch fouled back, as Austin gets ahead 0-1. Salado ahead 0-2. Curtis, ball hit in the air to center field. Giovanni sizes it up, makes the catch, and there's one gone. That'll bring up Freeman Roundtree. He got aboard on an infield hit and scored. First pitch called a strike. Line drive. And there to make the grab, and you can see why they call it the hot corner. Came hot at Boschart. He made the catch, and there's two gone. Tristan Wallace, who got aboard on a single in the first and scored, stands in. There's a strike. Looking at the schedule for tomorrow, 2 games over at Lithia Driveway Field number 9 and 2 here at North Medford. At Lithia Driveway, it'll be Chico versus Reno at 9 a.m. That's going to be quite a contest. Then we have Klamath versus Salem at 11:30 a.m. here at North Medford. Fairfield will take on Grants Pass at 9 a.m. And then Medford plays Roseburg at 11:30. Update the scoreboard here. 1-2 the count to Wallace. 2 gone. Pitch outside. Still remains windy. A lot of cloud cover. Wallace fouls it off, and the catch is made. That'll retire the side for the Mustangs, who go 3 up, 3 down. We'll be back with the top of the 3rd on the other side of this break.
Thanks for the ride. I'll see you after the game.
Hey,
Dear Katie, I've been your #1 fan since I watched your first game all those years ago, and I still love watching you play. But I wanted to see you win so badly that my competitive nature got the best of me. I lost track of what's important. I thought I was supporting you, but I was really just embarrassing you. I'm not your coach, and I'm not an official. I forgot my role. I'm your parent, and you deserve better. From here on, I promise to keep my emotions under control. I'll cheer for you and all the other players, no matter the score, no matter the outcome. Thank you for sharing with me how I can do a better job of supporting you, your team, your coaches, and the sports you love. Still your #1 fan. Love, Dad.
For the Nuts, in the top of the 3rd, it'll be the bottom 3rd of their batting order that will come to the plate. Jake Dahl, followed by Joe Casetta and Isaiah Fortune.
Number 13, Jake Dahl.
Roden starts him out with a strike. Nice looking fastball there to get ahead. Bouncing ball, fouled away. Gonna have the dugout roof obscuring our view here, but well out of play. Roden ahead, 0-2. Comes to the plate, swing and a miss, and there's one gone. For Roden, his 4th strikeout of the evening. That'll bring up Joe Casetta, the designated hitter. Right-handed hitter with a wide stance. No doubt as you look throughout 9 hitters throughout a lineup, you'll see a variety of batting stances. Fundamentally, a lot of them pretty much end up all in the same place. It's just their path to getting there varies from hitter to hitter, and it's interesting to look at. 2-1 the count. You know that no matter what, that bat speed's still important. The weight transfer from back to front, the turning of the hips, follow through. Those commonalities will be there. There's a strike from Roden as the count goes 2-2. Popped up, and that'll end up bouncing out of play just off to our right. Cassetta hanging in there. 2-2 count, and one gone. Ouch! Ends up, looks like he takes one on his left arm. So Cassetta aboard with one gone. And that gives the Nuts their first runner of the ball game. Now the number 9 hitter at the plate, the left fielder Isaiah Fortune. Try to see if he can't get something going here and get his team back in the contest. Bouncing ball. Finds the hole between third and short. And he gives the Nuts their first hit of the ball game. So Fortune with the single. That'll move Fortune down to that'll move Cassetta down to second. And it's back to the top of the order with Kinzer Day. Nuts right fielder. Struck out his first time up. Coach seeing something he want to address. And I'm sure also, again, a little bit of a discussion about all the different scenarios that could crop up defensively. The Mustangs this year coached by John King as Nate Maben takes over the general manager's role. And then King assisted by longtime North Medford coach Wolf, and also by Cascade Christian coach Kevin Schaefer, who's been a big part of the scene here in the Rogue Valley for some time. So a lot of experience on that Mustang staff, as there is the same for the Chico program. So Day stands in. Ducks on the pond now with one gone. And you kind of hear that thump as Day gets hit. That'll load the bases. So now we've got Cassetta at third, Fortune at second, and now Day at first for Ryland Giovanni. Center fielder flew out his first time up. So bases loaded. And the go-ahead run represented at the plate. Roden now out of the stretch. Pitch outside. So after sailing through his first two innings, Roden struggling here, a pair of hit batters and a single. Bouncing ball down to short. Roundtree has some trouble with it. A run comes home. And it's a 4-1 ball game. So Joe Cassetta makes it a 4-1 ball game as he comes home. Play rule and error, E5. So bases remain loaded. 4-1 ball game. Giovanni aboard, and now Story, the hitter, the shortstop, struck out in the first. Big opportunity here to keep a rally going here in the third. Roden comes to the plate. Ball is the call as the count goes 2-1. Roden evens up the count with that pitch to 2-2. Pitch outside. That runs the count full at 3-2. Got fortunate third. Day at second. Giovanni at first. Payoff pitch on the way. And he gets hit. And that'll bring another runner home. So Fortune scores the second run of the ball game. So the Mustang lead is now down to 2. The Mustang Brain Trust has already exhausted their one visit to the mound. So they want to keep Roden in the ball game. Discussion happening here between Caleb Long, who goes back to third, Havey back behind the plate, and Roden finding himself in the middle of a third inning jam. Pitch low for a ball, and the appeal, the second base umpire says it is a swing. He rules it a swing, and the count goes 0-1. Malachi Boschart struck out in the second. Swings and misses at that one as the count goes 0-2. 4-2 ball game. Let's get that up to date. One and 2 to Boschart. One gone. Pitch off the plate. 2-2 the count. Ball hit out long to center field. And it is gone. Bye-bye baseball. Grand slam home run. Every ball player's dream And Chico has the lead.
Catcher, number 3, Brandon Sable.
Malachi Boschard with the grand salami. And that'll bring up Landon Sable, the catcher. Ball hit in the air out to left field. That's a long drive. That'll bounce to the wall. Motoring into second is Sable. Sable now 1 for 2 on the day. They'll bring on a courtesy runner for Sable, the catcher, which you can do that at the high school rules applicable for American Legion baseball. Pitch back to the screen. Mustang faithful pleading the case for a foul ball, which would send the runner back to second. One-0 pitch from Roden with the runner now at third, swing and a miss. Count even now at 1-1. Jacob Ortega, the runner for Chico. He's standing at third. Pitch hit in the air, out of our view. But the catch made by the first baseman, Mueller, and there's 2 gone.
First baseman, number 13, Jake Dahl.
So Yakovachi erased, and now here is Jake Dahl, the 9th hitter to come to the plate for the Nuts here in the 3rd. Dahl pulls it foul. Count even up at 1-1. Dahl takes on that one. Count goes 2-1. Bouncing ball down to second. Carr has it. Throw to first in time. And that will do it for Chico. The Nuts end up bringing home 6 runs in the 3rd, and now they have a 6-4 lead. We'll be back with the bottom of the 3rd following these messages on TableRockSports.net.
Diverse venues, we got them. Year-round sports access? You bet. Race cars, soccer, paragliding? Check, check, check. Medford has it covered as your sport ground, where the West Coast plays.
Okay, you know how people complain about how Dutch Bros workers are like too nice, too hyper, compliment you too much, whatever? Maybe you're not nice enough. Maybe you need to get a little Dutch Bros in you.
Discover the West Coast destination for those seeking more. More sunny days, more athletic facilities, more outdoor adventures, more to do during downtime. Medford is your sport ground, where the West Coast plays.
Oh, how things change quickly. Chico with 6 runs in the top of the third, now lead the game 6-4. Medford will see if they can't come up with an answer here in the bottom of the third. It'll be Rosenthal, Havey, and Willer. Rosenthal walked and scored in the first. Fouls off the first pitch from Salado. Did he go? They say he did, man. The count goes 0-2. As the home plate umpire checks in with the man in blue down at first. With the ball, now it's a 1-2 count. Pitch down and in. And the count goes 2-2. Ball popped up in the air, and that ends up out of play. Over into the Chico bullpen. The count will remain 2-2 to the leadoff hitter here in the bottom of the third. That pitch low. The run the count full at 3-2. And patience at the plate pays off for Rosenthal. Leadoff man aboard here in the first and the third.
Number 8, Eli Havey.
So Rosenthal with his second walk of the ball game. And that'll bring up Eli Havey. Havey walked in the first inning. Havey bouncing ball. Boss chart. Makes the throw down to second. Throw to first. Not in time. Took a little bit of time there on the pivot. Game effort there to try to get the runner at first. But they do get the lead man.
First baseman, number 27, Kellen Willer.
So Havey aboard on the fielder's choice. Kellen Willer hit a sac fly in the first. Looks down to Coach King down at third. Throw down to first. Back in time is Havey. So Willer the hitter with Tristan Malari on deck. Throw back over. Kellen standing in. He's ready to go. Awaits the pitch. The runner goes. And they got him dead to rights. Crime does not pay for the Mustangs. as Havey is caught stealing. So 2 gone in the inning now. Willer ahead here, now with the bases empty. Loud contact there, but it's fouled. Willer fouls it off. That'll even it up at 2-2. Wind continues to blow in from the north. And strikes out, but is dropped there. Touching him on the back is the catcher Sable, and that will end the Mustang threat in the third. Stick around. We've got the top of the fourth coming up. The Nuts leading 6-4. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
Choose a company that best represents you and our local community.
Choose a company that focuses on relationships rather than transactions.
Choose a company that empowers their employees and provides growth opportunities from within.
Choose a company that shows compassion and rises to the occasion in times of need.
Call a John L. Scott broker today.
Pick it up. Let's go. Come on. Defense. Defense. What am I teaching you at home? Has this kid played before? Shoot it. Oh. Ah. Come on, ref. Open your eyes. Can't you see out there? So, which one's your kid?
The referee.
You can be a parent, athlete, coach, or an official, but you can only be one. Know your role.
Top of the fourth inning. It'll be Dahl, Cassetta. Actually, it'll be Cassetta, Fortune, and back to the top of the lineup with Day. Cassetta hit by a pitch his first time up. This time pops it up on the infield. Carr waits for it to come down, closes the glove on it, and there's one gone. And that'll bring up the number 9 hitter for Chico, Isaiah Fortune. Singled and scored in the third. Big part of that uprising by the Nuts. He shows bunt there. Fouls it off as the count goes 0-1. Roden out of the windup. Swing and a miss. Roden returns to form after his troubles in the third. Pitch outside as the count goes 1-2. Ball hit in the air. Long calling for it. The one-handed catch, and there's 2 gone. Back to the top of the order, Kinzer Day, 0 for 1 on the day. Struck out in the first. Hit by a pitch in the third and later scored. Roden starts him out with a strike as the count goes 0-1. Roden comes to the plate, and dropping it in for the base hit is Kinzer Day. Chico with their 4th hit of the ball game.
Center fielder, number 9, Rylan Giovanni.
2-out single by Day, and that'll bring up Rylan Giovanni. Flew out and got aboard on an error and scored. Giovanni quickly steps out. Ryland, the center fielder for Chico. Roden, quick look over to first base, and then Giovanni steps out, gets the signs. Pitch fouled back. Roden getting ahead here. Throw to first. Day gets back in time. Roden comes to the plate, pitch fouled back, and the count goes 0-2. If you just happen to be just tuning in and thinking, this game doesn't seem like it's all that far along for what was scheduled for a 6 o'clock start. The game between Reno and Grants Pass, won by the Knights, ended up running long, high-scoring ball game, and this game really didn't get underway till about 6:20. The runner goes. Great jump there by Day, and he gets the stolen base. So a runner in scoring position. Giovanni swings and misses. And that'll do it for the Nuts in the 3rd. It remains a 6-4 ball game. Stay tuned. We got the Mustangs coming up right after this.
Game day or a family get-together. Sherm's has the quality products and prices that will make you cheer. Sherm's Thunderbird Market, Medford's original discount grocery store.
Your game day adventures start at Pinnacle 365. Kick off your day with some morning motivation. Then add some crunch to your game day with mouth-watering crispy crunchy chicken, featuring the Chicken Crunch Box, Tenders Crunch Box, and introducing a contender for best chicken sandwich in the West, the Big Cluck. But wait, here's the real MVP move. Download and use the Peak Rewards app and save big on fuel every day with in-store purchases. Fuel your day, fuel your fun. Pinnacle 365.
Whether it's game day or a family get-together, Sherm's has the quality products and prices that will make you cheer. Sherm's Thunderbird Market, Medford's original discount.
Against Roseburg, not Fairfield. And Chico against Reno.
Back at Jim McAbee Field, North Medford High School, 3rd day of the Coach K Classic for the Mustangs. A trail by 2. They've got Tristan Malari, Davis Carr, and Caleb Long working against Salado. Malari on the day. Got aboard on an error in his first at bat. Off-speed pitch by Salado evens up the count at 1-1. Swing and a miss. They say hitting is timing and pitching's about throwing off that timing, and Salado changing speeds well here in the fourth. Misses on that pitch, however, as the count goes even at 2-2. Pitches out of the stretch. Ball hit in the air to shallow right field. An assembly of ball players there making the catch. Is the right fielder Kinzer Day, and there's one gone. F9 for those of you who practice the art of keeping score at home. Meanwhile, foul there from Davis Carr. Carr popped up in his first at-bat. Swing and a miss, strike two. Swing and a miss, strike three. Salado with his second strikeout of the game. And that'll bring up Caleb Long. Long flew out to center field his first time up. Gets ahead here, the versatile third baseman. Long yanks that foul. Sails over our heads and back in the open area. Strike to Long as Salado now ahead 1-2. Two and two now the count. Swing and a miss. And that'll retire the side. Mustangs go 3 up, 3 down. We'll go to the top of the fifth. We'll have that for you right after these messages.
I ride the bus a lot. RVTD's UMO app with fare capping means I will never pay more than the daily or monthly cap. RVTD gets me to school, work, volunteering, shopping, and even coffee for a fixed amount each month. UMO gives me one less thing to worry about. Thanks, RVTD.
Bill's Glass covers the full spectrum of your glass needs and dreams. Having new windows installed by Bill's Glass dramatically update and improves the look of your home and helps reduce energy bills year-round. Let Bill's Glass show you what you've been missing. Bill's Glass, the largest glass company in Southern Oregon for your home and auto, as well as the trusted industry leader for over 50 years. Locally owned, family run, Bill's Glass in Ashland, Medford, and Grants Pass.
Go to the top of the fifth, and as we work our way into the evening, our current temperature 77 degrees. Feels a little bit cooler than that with the wind blowing at our backs. Mustangs trailing 6-4. Big rally for the Nuts. All 6 of the runs coming in the third. Zach Story leads things off. He'll be followed by Boss Chart and Sable. Rodens falls behind. And then catches the outside corner of the plate to even things up at 1-1. So Roden showing resilience and mental toughness here. Long drive hit out to left field. It's deep. And it is gone. Zach Story. Second dinger of the game for Chico. Earlier in the game, Malachi Boschart, the hitter here, hit a grand slam home run. But he pops it up there.
Pitcher, number 3, Landon Sable.
So one gone on the inning. Here's Landon Sable. Popped up the second in the second. Hit a double in the third. Solid hit in the 5 and 6 hole there.
Second baseman, number 4, Logan Yakovich.
Sable will come off for a courtesy runner.
Courtesy runner at first base is number 1, Jacob Ortega.
Jacob Ortega coming in to run once again. And that'll bring up Logan Yakovachi. And actually, we have a pinch hitter. So coming on, Nick Anderson, left-handed hitter, and the runner goes, sails past the shortstop Roundtree, but Ortega, as the courtesy runner, gets the stolen base. Anderson gets good contact out there, deep to right field. Malari makes the catch. The runner will tag and comes into third standing up.
First baseman, number 13.
So they'll go in the scorebook as an F9. 2 gone. Now a runner at third for Jake Dahl. Dahl 0 for 2 on the day. First pitch fouled off. That home run by Story, that thing had some distance on it. I think usually on a flight that long, you get a free movie with it. Pitch fouled off. Roden ahead here, 0-2. Looking at the dimensions of the ballpark, it's 344 down the left field line, 331 down the right field line. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Zach Story with the home run puts another one on the board. The Nuts up by 3. We'll be back with the bottom of the 5th right after this.
Celebration event is going on now at Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford. We're stocked up on a great selection of new vehicles from Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and of course, Ram trucks. Choose from our great inventory of new Jeep Gladiator and Grand Cherokee 4x4 models in stock now. Or test drive a new 24 Ram 1500 4x4. Shop online today with our online process to calculate your own payment, whether it's a lease, finance, or cash payment. Only at the Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford Superstore.
Hi guys, my name's Mason Mahaffey. I'm the Solar Pros Manager of Oregon, and I'm also a teacher and a coach here in the Rogue Valley. Have you looked into solar panels and it didn't make financial sense? I brought Solar Pros here to Oregon to make it more affordable for working class families to put solar on their home. Solar Pros is purposely beating our competitors' prices by thousands of dollars because we are that serious about saving you money. Solar Pros PNW provides the most comfortable, educational, and personal solar experience in Oregon. Visit our Facebook page at Solar Pros PNW to see all of our projects and all the families that we are helping save money.
Bottom of the 5th. Chico with 6 runs in the 3rd and a solo homer in the 5th, lead in the ball game 7-4. Mustangs doing all their damage in the 1st. Leading off for the Mustangs is the designated hitter, Easton Curtis. Flew out to center field his first time up. Lashes a line drive to right center field. Base hit. Day will have to chase it down, and Curtis motors into second, standing up. Giving the hometown faithful something to cheer about. Mustangs with just their 3rd hit of the ball game. They were able to capitalize on walks and errors as a part of that 4-run first. We go to the top of the order now, and Freeman Roundtree, 1 for 2, singled and scored in the 1st, and lined out in the 2nd. He shows bunt. First pitch goes for a strike. Both starting pitchers are remaining in the ball game. Roundtree lays down a nice-looking bunt, but it rolls foul. Count now 0-2. One would tend to think probably with 2 strikes that fouling it off would result in a strikeout, that'll take the sacrifice or the attempt at a bunt for a hit, but the speed of Roundtree off the table. Swing and a miss. Roundtree is retired. And that'll bring up Tristan Wallace. Wallace singled and scored in the 1st. Popped up the 1st and the 2nd. He's showing a bunt there. Ball is the call. Pitch on the outside corner. Salado looking back at second. Looks back to second. Curtis. Pretty decent lead there off the bag. Ready to spring into action, and Salado, taking note of that, steps off the rubber. One pitch. Wallace looks that one in for a ball as he gets ahead in the count. Solano there with a little Sherwin-Williams number there. Paints the corner. Evens up the count at 2-2. Pitch fouled away. Salado working against Wallace. Wallace staying alive there. 2-2 the count. One gone. And the Mustangs, who have been scoreless since the first, and have tried to take care of that here. Wallace, sharp line drive, lands in left center field. That one's going to roll to the wall. A run will score as Easton Curtis comes home. It's a 7-5 ball game. Wallace with the extra base knock. And that'll bring up Jackson Rosenthal. Here's another guy with some pop in his bat, but he's walked twice so far in the ball game. As the sun makes a little appearance here, as we work our way into a Saturday evening. Rosenthal looks at a strike. Jackson representing the potential tying run there at the plate. Check swing. Did he go? And he did. Count now 0-2. Swing and a miss, and Rosenthal is retired. Big strikeout there for Salado. For Austin Salado, that is his 5th strikeout of the game. And he starts out with a strike to Eli Havey. Havey got a board on a fielder's choice and also walked. Scored a run in the first. Salado looks to the runner, spins, throws. Wallace gets back in plenty of time. Anderson now in at second base, having pinch hit earlier for Yakovachi. One and two count, 2 gone. Mustangs down by 2, but a runner in scoring position. Salado to the plate. And he gets Havey. So that will do it for the Mustangs. However, they put a run on the board on 2 hits. 7-5 ball game. We'll be back with the top of the 6th in 60 seconds.
Day or a family get-together. Sherm's has the quality products and prices that will make you cheer. Sherm's Thunderbird Market, Medford's original discount grocery store.
You want diverse venues? We got them. Year-round sports access? You bet. Race cars, soccer, paragliding? Check, check, check. Medford has it covered as your sport ground, where the West Coast plays.
Got a new pitcher for the Medford Mustangs. Coming on in relief of Roden will be Jake Lewis. Lewis out of South Medford High School, taking over for his high school teammate. Lewis, right-handed pitcher. So Roden ends up going 5 innings, surrenders 6 hits, 7 runs. Unofficially, we got for 5 earned runs. Didn't walk anybody, but he had a little bit of trouble with hit batsmen and struck out 6 in the ball game. Give him credit for a gutsy performance after that big 6-run third inning that Roden collected himself, hung tough on the ball game, and other than the solo homer by Story, have pretty well kept things in check against Chico after that. Here in the 6th, it'll be Casetta, Fortune, and Day, the 8, 9, and 1 hitters.
Designated hitter, number 18, Joe Casetta.
Joe Casetta was hit by a pitch and scored in the 3rd. Popped up in the 4th. Casetta gets ahead here. Wide stance. Lewis behind 2-0. Pitches out of the windup, and that one high at 3-0. Casetta taking all the way here, and that'll run the count to 3-1. Lewis goes to work. 3-1 pitch. And Joe Casetta draws the walk to open the 6th inning. So man aboard
Left fielder, number 7,
for Isaiah Fortune. Fortune singled and scored in the 3rd. Popped up to 3rd in the 4th. Lays it down. Lewis throws to first. Throw in time. And the runner advances.
right fielder, number 8.
So a runner in scoring position for Kinzer Day, who has struck out, hit by a pitch and scored. Got a single and stolen a base today. So a busy day for the Nuts right fielder, who promptly gets ahead of Lewis 1-0. With the runner aboard, Lewis works from the stretch. All laid down the bunt to 3rd. Well-placed bunt. Long's going to throw it, and it's not in time. Who says the modern day ball player can't lay down a good bunt? Day there, a masterful piece of small ball. Gets on with the bunt single. And Cassetta moves to third. Remember Brett Butler from back in the day. The guy made a career out of getting aboard on bunts. Number 2 hitter in the order, Giovanni, the hitter. And the ball gets away from the catcher, Havey. Coming home and scoring the run is Cassetta. And it's an 8-5 ball game. You know, I thought they had called him safe on that, but I was obviously wrong as I look over first and there's nobody there. So, but that, regardless of whether he got on or not, it was a nice sacrifice hit. Well done bunt by Day, and that did help set up the run. As Cassetta scored on the wild pitch. So either way you look at it, hit or not, Day did his job. 3-1 the count right now to Giovanni. Swings and misses as the count goes full at 3-2. There's a strike, and that will retire the side. Joe Cassetta scores after drawing a base on balls. Makes it an 8-5 ball game. We'll be back with the bottom of the 6th.
Start at Pinnacle 365. Accelerate your day with morning motivation. Freshly ground, swiftly brewed from fresh bean to cup in no time at all. And now we're here for your daily dinner adventures. Introducing Crispy Crunchy Chicken online ordering. Mouth-watering Crispy Crunchy Chicken for dinner, made deliciously easy. Just open the app or visit the website. Select a pickup time. Choose from your favorites. And your Crispy Crunchy Chicken will be prepared hot and fresh. Make dinner a breeze at Pinnacle 365.
Bottom of the 6th, and I believe that the time limits apply to the last game of the day that due to the earlier games. The bottom of the 6th will represent the final opportunity as this, well, wait a minute, I take that back. The game was supposed to start at 6, but then ended up not starting until 8:15, so we'll see what happens here in terms of time and how this inning goes. The Mustangs trailing by 3 in the ball game, 8-5. And in this inning, they have Willer, Malari, and Carr. Dangerous part of the lineup for the Mustangs. Willer will lead off. Hits the bouncing ball down to short, and it gets over the glove of Story. So Willer will lead off to start the 6th. Malari comes up, 0 for 2 on the day, got aboard on an error in the first, and then Malari flew out. And we got Kyle Cope in to run for Willer, a pinch runner. Malari standing in. And he'll go to work against Austin Salato. Salado over to first. Backdoor throw down to first. Trying to catch Cope leaning the wrong way. One and 0 the count. Runner at first. Nobody out. Bottom of the sixth. 8-5 ball game. Ball hit up the middle. Steps on second for one. And the pitcher's best friend. The double play. And there's two gone.
Second baseman, number 3, Davis Carr.
So that'll bring up Davis Carr. Carr, 0 for 2 on the day. Popped up and struck out. Salado. Ball hit in the hole. Gets past the outstretched glove of Anderson.
Third baseman, number 14,
So Carr with the single. Man on first with 2 gone. And here's Caleb Long. Looks at the first pitch, and Salado pours that one in for a strike and gets ahead. 0-1. Throw to first, not in time. Salado comes to the plate, and again, throw over to first. And you can tell that you've got a runner over there taking a pretty good lead off of there. Fortunately, Carr's got excellent quickness. He was able to get back in time. 0-2 pitch. Off target. Salado. Rode out more than a couple of storms here. And he's got 2 down here in the bottom of the 6th. Given where we're at time-wise, I don't know whether we'll get another inning or not. We're really close to that 2-hour mark. Bouncing ball goes to left field. Base hit for Caleb Long to keep the inning alive. Carr moves into scoring position. And that'll bring up the DH, Easton Curtis. Nuts coach emerges from the dugout. We see a couple of pitchers warming up down in the Nuts bullpen. They'll stay with Salado here. I'm sure a big part of that meeting was a discussion again of the potential plays defensively. You got runners at first and second with 2 gone. Curtis doubled and scored his last time up. Pitch outside. Keeping it in front of him is the catcher, Sable. Curtis, hitter on the even stance. Shows bunt, pulls it back, and again, throw to first. Gets away from the first baseman. Long's going to stay where he is, but the lead runner is down at third. So you got Carr at third, Long at first. 2-0 the count. Salado, his pitch outside. Count 3-0. Expect that Curtis will be taking all the way here. And he earns a trip to first base. That'll load the bases up. So the tying run is aboard. And here's Freeman Roundtree. Roundtree 1 for 3 on the day. Singled and scored in the first, lined out in the second, and struck out in the fifth. Salado starts him out with a strike. Count 0-1. Bouncing ball hit down to short. Throw to first. Not in time. He gets away from the first baseman. Long comes home. And so does Carr. And it's a one-run game. So Tristan Wallace up with the game-tying run down at third. And a runner at first. Wallace doubled his last time up. 2 for 3 on the day. So we got the tying run at third, the go-ahead run at first, bottom of the sixth. Pitch outside as the count goes 2-0 to the right-handed hitting center fielder. We came in here expecting a heck of a ball game between these two teams, and they have not disappointed. The Mustangs taking the early 4-0 lead, then Chico with a big sixth running in the third ended up taking the lead. And now he finds the gap, coming home with the tying run is Easton Curtis. Clutch hit by Tristan Wallace, and that'll bring up Jackson Rosenthal. Got a pitching change coming for the Nuts. We will use this opportunity while the reliever comes in, takes his warm-ups. We'll take an opportunity to take a break and be right back.
Day or a family get-together. Sherm's has the quality products and prices that will make you cheer. Sherm's Thunderbird Market, Medford's original discount grocery store.
You want diverse venues? We got them. Year-round sports access? You bet. Race cars, soccer, paragliding? Check, check, check. Medford has it covered as your sport ground, where the West Coast plays.
So we're all tied up with a 3-run rally here in by the Mustangs in the bottom of the 6th. Relief pitcher in the game for the Chico Nuts. Right-hander.
Your attention, please. Now, pitching.
Being announced.
Number 5, Matt Lorenz.
Matt Lorenz taking over on the mound. Tall right-handed pitcher. And he'll get the set to go to work against Jackson Rosenthal. So big day for Tristan Wallace. Wallace now 3 for 4 on the day. Had that RBI double in the 5th, and then the big game-tying hit here. Lorenz coming into the ball game, getting his warm-up tosses in. So we got Wallace at first, and Roundtree, the speedster, at third. I'm going to say, if you got a tie game and you're looking for a game-winning run, and you got somebody, want somebody confident that he can come home on just about anything, Roundtree's your guy. And Jackson Rosenthal, Roundtree's Ashland teammate, stands in. Again, in this situation, that's a guy I like having at the plate. Lawrence gets his first pitch of the night over. He's ahead 0-1. Pitch misses for a ball as the count goes 1-1. Tie ball game at 8 apiece. Throw to first. Wallace quickly gets back, shakes off the dust. Lawrence out of the stretch. Pitch goes for a ball as the count goes 2-1. Elijah Havey on deck, and oh my goodness, the sprinklers come on. And immediately we have somebody from the Mustangs quickly emerging from the dugout. Nothing like an early summer shower on a Saturday night. And there's nothing like having the right guy at the right moment to take care of things as the sprinklers come off. Gets a hearty round of applause from the crowd. Oh my goodness. Well, it'll settle the dust, right? So, back to the matters at hand. 2-1 to Rosenthal. Working against Lawrence, facing his first batter of the ball game. Pitch will miss, and that'll run the count to 3-1. So with second open, this will not force a runner home, but this does load up the bases for Eli Havey. Jackson Rosenthal drawing his third walk of the game. That'll move Wallace down to second, and Roundtree remains at third. Havey walked and scored in the first. Got on fielder's choice, caught stealing in the second, and struck out in the fifth. Here, he quickly gets ahead of Lawrence. Pitch high as the count goes 2-0. Pitch to the plate, and now the count's 3-0. Havey taking all the way there. 3-1 now the count. Lawrence now runs the count full. Pitching in a sixth inning jam here in a tie game with the bases loaded. Runners go, and he draws the walk, and the run comes home. And then another comes home as Wallace scores. So runners capitalizing on the base paths. 2 runs come home. Kyle Cope stands in. He came in and ran for Willer. To lead off the inning. Cope, ground ball up the middle, throw across the infield is in time. And that will end the inning. But the Mustangs put 5 on the board. And take a 10-8 lead. And we will get one more inning in, although we're right up at the 2-hour mark. But again, this game getting a late start tonight after the length of the preceding affair. We will take a quick break, and then we'll be back with the top of the 7th right after these messages.
Start at Pinnacle 365. Accelerate your day with morning motivation. Freshly ground, swiftly brewed from fresh bean to cup in no time at all. And now, we're here for your daily dinner adventures. Introducing Crispy Crunchy Chicken online ordering. Mouth-watering Crispy Crunchy Chicken for dinner, made deliciously easy. Just open the app or visit the website. Select a pickup time. Choose from your favorites. And your Crispy Crunchy Chicken will be prepared hot and fresh. Make dinner a breeze at Pinnacle 365.
Go to the top of the 7th. Jake Lewis, opportunity to pick up the victory on the mound if he can hold Chico at bay, and that's not a given. After Cope had come in to run for Willer, Tristan Malari ended up moving over to first base. And I believe that might be Cope playing out in right field. I take that back. I'm not sure who we got out there, but Cope wears number 1, and the player out in right field has a double-digit jersey number. So my apologies for not knowing that. But here in the top of the 7th, Zach Story, who hit a solo homer his last time up, will try to come up with an answer for Chico here, working against Jake Lewis. Story on the day struck out, hit by a pitch, but scored a run, and then hit a solo homer. And he's ahead here, 2-0. It'll be Story, followed by Boschart and Sable. Here, advantage to Story. Mustangs up by 2 in a high-scoring game. Taking all the way to Story, that'll run the count to 3-1. And Story earns a trip to first. So lead man aboard.
Third baseman, number 21, Malachi Boschart.
Malachi Boschart. 1 for 3 on the day. That one hit, a grand slam home run in the third. Pitch high for a ball. Lewis out of the stretch. And that'll drop in for a base hit. They're just inside the line. In left field is Rosenthal. So the tying run aboard for Chico as Boschart picks up his second hit of the day. That'll move Story down to second. Timeout called. Conference on the mound. Nobody out in the inning. But a rally in the works by the Nuts. Umpire breaks up the conclave. Lewis remains on the mound. Landon Sable, the hitter. 2 for 3 on the day, doubled and singled out of his 3 at-bats. Two-run game, 10-8 here in the top of the 7th. First pitch high as the count goes 1-0. Boschart, the runner at first. Story, the runner at second. Lewis pours that one in and levels it at 1-1. Lewis looks it in, swing and a miss, strike 2. On deck hitter is Nick Anderson. Pitch in the dirt. Havey pounces on it. Runners stay where they are. Lewis looks it in. 2-2 pitch to the plate. Line drive, and it's snared by Long, and there's one gone. quick reflexes by Long, snares the line drive, and there's one away. That's the second play he's made like that tonight. And that'll bring up Anderson. Anderson flew out to right field after he pinched hit for Logan Yachavachi. Ground ball taken by Malari. Steps on the bag, records the out. U3 on the play. The runners advance, though, to second and third. So the game-tying run in scoring position. We have a pinch runner in the ball game. Now in the ball game, Ortega. We've seen him as a courtesy runner tonight. And here he's going to pinch hit for Dahl.
Runner at second base is number 10, Riley Bester.
Riley Bester, and he's the runner at second. So the Nuts pulling out the stops here. 2 gone. But we got the game-tying run down at second and another runner at third. Lewis gets ahead of Ortega, 0-1. Pitch called the ball, and the Mustang faithful letting the home plate umpire hear about it. Ball hit in the air to left field. That's going to fall in for a base hit. 1 run will score, and 2 runs will score. It's a tie ball game. Throw down to second, ends up in center field. But Ortega ties up the game. To me, that's one of the toughest jobs in sports, coming in as a pinch hitter in a clutch situation like that. But now he ties up the ball game here in the top of the 7th. And Joe Cassetta, who walked and scored his last time up, has 2 runs that he scored on the day. He was hit by a pitch in the 3rd and also scored a run. So 2 gone in the inning. Go ahead run now in scoring position for Cassetta. Pitch, swing and a miss. Hey, John. Oh, 2 pitch. Lewis comes to the plate, gets him looking, but not before the Nuts tie up the game. It's tied up at 10 apiece. We'll go to the bottom of the 7th, and we'll have that for you coming right up.
Thanks for the ride. I'll see you after the game.
Hey, Dear Katie, I've been your #1 fan since I watched your first game all those years ago, and I still love watching you play. But I wanted to see you win so badly that my competitive nature got the best of me. I lost track of what's important. I thought I was supporting you, but I was really just embarrassing you. I'm not your coach, and I'm not an official. I forgot my role. I'm your parent, and you deserve better. From here on, I promise to keep my emotions under control. I'll cheer for you and all the other players, no matter the score, no matter the outcome. Thank you for sharing with me how I can do a better job of supporting you, your team, your coaches, and the sports you love. Still your number one fan. Love, Dad.
Bottom of the seventh, he started out the game in right field, playing first base, and leading off for the Mustangs will be Tristan Malari. Malari 0 for 3 on the day. He'll be followed by Davis Carr and Caleb Long. Lawrence, who came on in relief last inning, starts out with a strike as the count goes 0-1. Pitch in the dirt. Count even now at 1-1. Bouncing ball down to first. Have some trouble with it, but still get him out. And there's one gone. Heads up play there. Don't give up on it. And they record the out, and now that'll bring up Davis Carr. Carr 1 for 3. Lawrence starts out on a strike. Make that 0-2. 0-2 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Caleb Long will hit now. He's 1 for 3 on the day. Scored big in that 6th inning for the Mustangs. Gets ahead 1-0. The pitch. Long. Takes there and gets ahead 2-0. Easton Curtis on deck. Bouncing ball hit down to third. That'll get over the third baseman Boschart. Mustangs with their 9th hit of the game. Go ahead run down at first. Caleb Long with his 2nd hit of the game. Curtis now up to bat. Doubled and walked on the day. Scored a pair of runs. Pitch outside. In the dirt. As Curtis gets ahead. Lawrence, who's pitched with mental toughness here on the day, evens up the count at 1-1. One pitch, swing and a miss. Strike 2. One and 2 the count. 2 gone. Runner at first. And there's a strike. And that will end the inning for the Medford Mustangs. We'll see if looks like what they'll do in terms of the time limit, that will put an end to the game, and they end up playing to a draw. And I know as unsatisfying sometimes as a fan that a tie can be, sometimes you just look at it and say, if ever there were a game that you'd say, these two teams literally played to a standoff, the scoreboard reflects that. They end up playing to a 10-all draw. Great ball game for both teams, hitting home runs, boss chart, and story for the Nuts. We thank you for joining us this evening, and that'll round out our broadcasting schedule for the weekend. But once again, both of these teams will be in action tomorrow. Chico will take on the Reno Knights. That's going to be another heck of a ball game, while the Medford Mustangs will take on the Roseburg Dock Stewarts. Well, that'll end up our game for tonight. For my cameraman, Johnny McCoy, I'm Jim McCoy. Thank you for joining us tonight, and have a great weekend. This loads to YouTube. So what you do, go to YouTube. Go to YouTube, then look for Table Rock Sports. We've got our own channel there.